All right, let's go. Hey, everybody. So today I just want to make a pretty in-depth review of Nepeto. I'm going to walk you through like an entire demo of the software because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that, right, Nepeto makes sense. Maybe they got started on the starter plan and, it's really simple to understand the basics of it, but there's still a lot of stuff out there that you guys might be missing that you may not know about yet. And so I want to show you all the features of Nepeto, walk you through step by step every one of the buttons so that maybe there's some things that you missed that you don't know about yet. And I'm telling you, this software, as simple as it is, right, it gives you a link of where to buy the products and where to sell it. Not only that, but it goes so in depth on your sourcing, right? You can actually use this for a majority of your sourcing, and that's why I think it's so worth it. So I'm gonna, ideally set up timestamps so that you guys can click on different areas of the video that make the most sense to you or something that you are looking for. And let's just jump right into it. So let me share my screen. Okay, cool. So I hope you guys can see the main screen on Nepeto. Right now I'm not logged in, so let me do that. All right, cool. So when you click on Nepeto, this logo right here, this is what we call the home screen. I'm going to walk you through each one of these tiles, just give a brief breakdown of it. But I would definitely say that online arbitrage, right? That's the core, that's the backbone of Nepeto, right? That's kind of what everything is based around, right? We're shopping online, and all these other tiles kind of branch off from it. But I would definitely, in this demo, we're gonna walk in depth into the online arbitrage tab. So just from a glance, these are the suppliers that Nepeto scans, right? We have all these websites that you might be familiar with. Maybe you actually shop on these websites when you are doing your online arbitrage sourcing, right? This is all the software so far in our database. And right, Nepeto is continuously scanning millions of products every single day. For example, sites like Dick's Sporting Goods, sites like Home Depot, right? These sites have hundreds of thousands of SKUs, and Nepeto scans them every single day so that it literally goes through their whole website and pulls it into our database. And then smaller websites, right? Smaller websites like Dollar General, right? We're pulling at least like, more than once a day, maybe sometimes 3 times a day because it's a smaller website. But that's the difference between Nepeto and let's say like tactical arbitrage is because of how often we are scanning other websites. Now, when I found out about this software, I found out about it in March at Miami Sellers Conference. They didn't have as many websites as they do now. I've heard that their goal is to add 3 websites a week to the software and continue growing it. So if there are any websites that you do want to suggest, right? Let's just say Adidas, for example, is not on there. You can actually send them a request to their website and request, hey, I wanna have this website on, right? Nepeto does take your feedback very well. And so they're constantly, asking users for their feedback. So, right, what it does is it scans these websites that we have and finds stuff that are selling for less on the websites and selling for at least 15% more ROI on Amazon. And we're going to dive in depth into the online arbitrage tab. So I'm going to just go through each one of these tiles just so that you can understand the home screen fully. And then we'll dive into here. Okay, so the distributors, right? It's the same thing as online arbitrage, different suppliers, right? These are going to be distribution companies. Now, I really want to emphasize this, right? Make sure you are double checking these companies, right? Make sure you're double checking whether these sites are legit, right? I know they're in Nepeto's database, but make sure you are double check when you are buying from them that you're buying from a trustworthy source. So, right, we have them here. You can buy from them. The difference between this tab and the online arbitrage tab is, right, these suppliers right here, they typically have a low minimum order quantity. So you might have to place like thousands of dollars on your first order with them, right? You're gonna need to place a larger order to get the prices down more. Whereas online arbitrage, you can buy test orders of, let's say, 5 or 10, depending on how low you want your test order to be, because they're just retail websites. So that's a distribution or distributor tab. The wholesale products, this is where you can buy online in bulk and resell on Amazon. So same concept as distributors. Here are the suppliers. And basically, I would check this out if you have like a prep center or if you have a warehouse, right, and you're ready to do wholesale. We do have a tab for that. So, these three, same concept. It's going to be the same Nepeto for all three of them. Just different tabs, right? The Nepeto team really broke it up so that you can dive into which one is more tailored for you. Okay. So next up is the Be the Only Seller tab, right? This is a category where it's products that are out of stock on Amazon. So you'll see here, right? When you take a quick glance at the Keepa chart, a lot of these don't currently have buy box on them because there's no sellers on it. Okay, so what you can do with these, right? You can check out, maybe for example, you can check out the past history. Like let's say for the example, this has a buy box. It seems like the past history has been selling at $40. Or you can, since you're the only seller, you kind of dictate the market price on it. So you might be able to mark it up 15 to 20% on these items here. And it'll build the list for you. We'll get into the buttons, right? Where to buy, where to sell. But this tab allows you to just see products that are out of stock on Amazon, and it's a really neat list to have. Okay. Next up is A to A flips or Amazon to Amazon flips. This is where Amazon is on a listing, it's selling on that listing, and Amazon dips its price, right? So you can buy when Amazon dips its price, and then maybe when Amazon goes back up in price, you can sell it for that higher price. So you're basically buying from Amazon and then reselling on Amazon. Now, I personally am not experienced with A to A flips, right? I would check out this tab if that's something that you are already familiar with. Then maybe dive into it, see if some of the leads it gives you is right for you. Obviously, you want to be double checking everything. And yeah, I can't really talk too much on it because it's not my niche. My niche is more online arbitrage, but I just want to explain to you at least what it is. Okay. Next up, Amazon to Walmart products. So Walmart is a big up and coming reseller platform, or just a platform in general to sell on. They are, kind of like the Wild West right now, right? Amazon isn't like necessarily saturated, but I would definitely say that Walmart is sort of like the next thing that is up and coming. So we made a tab where you can buy stuff on Amazon and sell it on Walmart. So it's definitely something to consider, right? If you are an Amazon seller, I would highly recommend just start the Walmart account, at least have that as a backup, because you never know with Amazon, with Section 3s, with whatever's going on. It's always nice to just hedge your bets, or you got the link to buy from Amazon and a link to sell on Walmart right there. Okay. And then finally, the storefront scanner. I'm going to dive in depth on this at the end of the video, but this is a brand new feature that Nepeto has rolled out. It's where you can literally scan a person's storefront by copying and pasting their seller ID. Okay. And not only is Nepeto going to tell you the products that person is selling, it's going to tell you the exact ASINs they're selling, and then it's going to search in the Nepeto database of where to buy it. So you might be able to, maybe you ever done like reverse sourcing or storefront stalking, and we'll go in depth on it. But if you know some sellers that are doing some of the same categories, some of the same type of selling that you are doing, and you have their storefronts, right? Paste them into the storefront scanner. You can use this on all three price plans that you have. So this is a brand new feature and it's next level. We're going to dive in depth on that at the end. Okay. So this is the entire homepage right here. If you ever do got questions on how to use Nepeto, we do have a link right here where you can basically just go through the like small YouTube videos of each of the tabs that I kind of explained briefly. So, use this as a resource if you ever do have questions. But for right now, I'm going to dive deep into the online arbitrage tab because this is what I would say is the majority of Nepeto. And so I just want to explain to you guys everything on this page right here. Cool. So just from a quick glance, right, what Nepeto does is it builds a list. It's going to look a lot like this if you are on the starter plan. I'll show you the show data tab later, but basically pretty simple. I'm going to go through the rows left to right and just show you all the features so that you are fully aware of it. Right. So right here is the Amazon link. This is the link that you can click on. You'll see the Amazon listing and the price that it's selling for on Amazon. Okay, this eye icon right here, you can hover over it just so that you can see the name a little bit better. Sometimes with sneakers, it's better to hover over this so you can see the exact color, the exact size. Okay, and then you're going to have the link right here to buy the product on the retail website. So if I were to click on these, right, I could see the where to buy, and this is where to sell. You'll see the category, what category it's in, and for example, like some people are really good at certain categories. So, right here we do have the sales rank, and it's 109,000 in this example. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means relative to this type of category, right? 109,000 means it means how fast the product is moving, the velocity of the product. Now, that means the number means differently in different products, right? 109,000 in clothing is different than 109,000 in industrial and scientific. So what they added was a top percentage, right? What percentage of fast movers is it going right here? So it's in the 0.5% top BSR rank. Now, what that means is the closer that percentage is to zero, the faster that product is going to move. So I would recommend for beginners, right? Keep everything that you are sourcing for no greater than like 1.5%, no greater than 2%. Because think about it, there's so many products on Amazon in these categories, right? Even the top 2%, you still want to be vetting out. So it's really neat that they have a feature right there. You can see real quick from a quick glance, okay, I can kind of tell that this is a fast mover based on the percentage. All right. Next, you got the exact ASIN. So if you were to click on this, it'd be a lot like clicking on the Amazon listing right here. This ASIN will take you to the exact ASIN. Sometimes there is different, let's say, sizes, different variations. You'll have the ASIN right here. This is the exact size, exact variation. Basically, what this means is every Amazon product has a specific code to it. It has a specific Amazon code to it. And that's what an ASIN is called. So you can click on it right here if you ever were, trying to go to that exact product page. Okay. Now, this is the price in the Amazon price, right? Basically, Nepeto is going to tell you what price can you buy it for and what price can you sell it for. So this price is going to line up with the price of the website. I'm just going to refresh this page just so that we have different products maybe. So this price right here is going to be, okay, I can buy this Sprite 12 pack from Target for $8 and I can sell it on Amazon for $22. Okay, it's really simple. You buy it low and you sell it high. Now, I want you to just be aware of right here what found time means. So, like I said earlier, Nepeto is scanning all these products, all these websites that we have in our database at least once a day. Okay, so for example, it'll tell you when it scanned this particular item. Now, I can see right here it's found on June 3rd, 2024. Right, today is June 3rd, 2024, and it found it at 8:31 a.m. Right, so I'm East Coast, so I'm Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be local to your time zone. So I just want you to keep in mind the price. If the price is ever different than what it is on let's say Target, or for example, right, double check when it was found, because if it was found, let's say yesterday, there is going to be times where these websites do update their price at midnight. So that could be a reason why it's different. So you always double check the found time. And then obviously, like Amazon, the buy box is going up and down based on the supply and demand of the product. So this price right here is in line with when we scanned the Amazon listing at this time. Cool. I hope that makes sense. So Amazon fees, right? Nepeto will calculate for you the Amazon referral fee and the fulfillment cost, so the FBA cost. So what that means is by default, the fees are set to FBA fees. So if you were to click on more, I'll just click on it again, right? Click on more right here. And right now you can see include FBA fees is checked. If I were to uncheck that, it would reload and the Amazon fees would be much differently. So if you are planning on doing FBM, let's say, right, maybe uncheck that, and you'll have different types of fees. Now, if you are doing like fulfilled by merchant, what I would recommend you do is add your shipping cost to extra costs. I don't think it calculates that in these fees, the shipping cost. So you can add that right here. I'm just going to go back to FBA, for example, and as I go into the next tab. So you can see costs right here, right? Additional costs. Let's say you're sending an FBA. And let's say, for example, you have a prep center or maybe some type of additional cost for a certain type of boxes or such, right? You can add like your prep center fees right here, and it's going to affect the ROI, right? If I switch it to 0, you can see the ROI is going to change. So that's cool to have, right? It does calculate it all for you right from a quick glance. And that is pretty much the Amazon fees and the cost. Next up, Amazon offers. So you can see from a quick glance just how many resellers are selling on this listing, right? I can see right away, okay, there's 7 sellers on this listing, and it'll break it down for you. How many of them are doing FBA and how many of them are doing FBM? Now, this comes really in handy if you are, let's say, looking for something where you can send it more FBM, right? Maybe you are just getting started and you just want to build up that cash flow really quick and you're doing a lot of FBM. So maybe I want listings that are more FBM based. Now, furthermore, later on in the video, I'll show you how you can go to this tab right here, this filter, and actually edit the AZ offer types. So if you are looking for stuff that is more FBM friendly, you can actually set filters so that it does show you stuff with more FBM sellers than FBA. Now, this is getting pretty advanced, but I'm telling you, like, Nepeto is really simple. It's really easy to understand at first, but you can get really fancy with your filters and build lists that are really cool. Okay. So that's AZ offers for right now. Like I said, see the numbers of sellers on the listing. That's going to give you just a brief idea of, okay, you know, how much competition is on this listing right here when I am trying to sell it. Next up, we got the profit. So profit, right? It's pretty straightforward. How much money are you going to make, right? You buy it for 160, you sell it for 294 on Amazon. This is how much profit you're going to make and the ROI. So I'm always looking, right? Quick glance. Typically, my eyes go right to the ROI. How's the ROI looking? And I do like to see profit. So if you are on the Pro plan, this is a feature only specific to the Pro plan. You can filter by profit. Like if I were to click here, I can set a minimum profit of 3. I'll get more in depth on that later on. So I know a lot of people do have questions on, okay, like, but why is there not a feature to filter by profit? There is, it's just you do got to be on the Pro plan. And I'm telling you that does make a difference being able to filter by that. Okay, so ROI, typically, right, you can set your ROI however much you want. And you know, it really just has to meet your certain criteria for what maybe your buying criteria is. So for me personally, I like to sell things at least 35% ROI. And so we have that right here. So you can see really easily all that. Okay. So that's pretty much the first row. Really simple to understand, right? Yes, it may seem like a lot at first, but in terms of breaking it down for a user to just glance at things, you can see right away, what am I buying for? What am I selling for? What's my ROI? Do a little bit more in-depth look at some things and help you just make some buying decisions right there, whether this is a product that you want to look further into. Now, next, I'm going to show you the hide from, or no, my bad. I'm going to show you all these buttons right here. And we're just going to go like a little loop between them all. Okay. So let's say, for example, you wanted to buy this lead right here from Dick's Sporting Goods for 67 bucks, but you were wondering, okay, is this lead anywhere else in Nepeto's database, right? Can I buy it anywhere else, right? So we do have a link for eBay. Just see if you can buy it on eBay. No match is found there. I wouldn't ever buy it from eBay. It's just like if it is selling on eBay, you can probably guess it's selling for 10 times more on Amazon. Next, you can click on Nepeto and see if it is anywhere in our database. So it's just going to take the ASIN and scan it and see if it found it anywhere else, which it did not. Let's go back for a second. I'm just going to see if there is any other issues. That's the same. Okay, so yeah, I mean, a lot of these showing up right now are just on like one certain website, but there's been times where I found stuff where it was on other websites and it was actually selling for less on those other websites, which really helped me out with being like, oh wow, like I didn't realize I could just buy it for cheaper from somewhere else. So that's Nepeto. It's going to check its whole database, right? All the websites that I showed you in the beginning. It's going to scan through, see if it is on any of those websites. And if you think you can just find the product better just doing a Google search, right? You can pull up Google, see the prices, see if you can buy these name brand items for less on Google. Cool. So that is checking other suppliers. Next, right? For example, I never sold a printer before, but I can check right away if I'm allowed to sell it. So one thing you're going to notice with Amazon selling, is a lot of the items are gated at first. So Nepeto has a feature where you can click on the lock screen and just see if you are able to sell. So it says right here, apply to sell. So I have to see if I can. Okay, so this is an example where I need an invoice. I need to purchase 10 orders and get approved, right? So that's good to know. That's going to help you determine whether you can, right? So for example, I'm ungated in this product right here, which means I can sell it right away, right? I never sold this brand before, but now I know, okay, I can do a small test order. If everything were to line up, maybe I do a small test order of it. I don't have to worry about getting ungated. I can sell it right away. So that's really cool. You have that feature right here to check if you're gated. Next up, this is the Keepa chart. So this is the same Keepa that you will see when you are pulling up the Amazon listings. Now, I love this a lot better just because when you pull up, like if I were to pull up the Amazon listing right here and then scroll down to Keepa, you can tell that it does take some time to basically let it load, right? For example, it takes about 5 extra seconds, right? When I pull up the Keepa link real quick from this button right here, it just gives me a much faster view of the Keepa. So I can determine very quickly how's the trend in the buy box, right? I can see this buy box is going down. I can see, how people are selling out, how they're doing, whether the velocity is really moving. I can see the drops per month. All these little things, studying the Keepa and understanding this just helps from a quick glance. Okay, this is a product. This is a product that I probably wouldn't even sell myself. And let me move on to the next. Now, I do want to mention, you do want to get a Keepa subscription, right? I'm logged in right now, so you will need to be logged in to see this stuff. I'd say Keepa is the backbone. If you are an Amazon seller, you need to understand Keepa charts. This tells you the data, right? We're not buying these products, we're buying the data that supports our buying decisions. So learn this, right? Study this. Hopefully, maybe I come out someday with a Keepa tutorial, but for right now, look up on YouTube, like how to understand Keepa graphs. But that is really good resource for you right there. Just a quick tip. What I've been doing personally is if I'm looking at some items, right, I just check out the ROI, like 37%. Okay, let me do a quick glance at the Keepa just to see how fast it's moving. Okay, it's got 12 drops a month and no one's really selling out. Let me pass on that item, right? So I hope that makes sense. The Keepa graph is right there. I think it's really helpful. Next up is the report a mismatch or report an out of stock product. So Nepeto is really big on taking feedback from users. So let's say there's an example where something doesn't line up, right? We'll use this example right here from Dick's Sporting Goods. If something doesn't line up, you can report a mismatch or out of stock product. Now, this is an example that I really want to emphasize right here because you can see these images are different, but it doesn't mean that there is a mismatch. So let's just see right here. If it says in this icon right here, I want you to really pay attention to this. Select the correct variation on Dick's Sporting Goods website. So I'm going to show you why this is just different images, but it's not a mismatch. So when I click on this link right here, it's going to tell you, you will see the main product page. You will need to set the correct variation yourself, right? Size 14, white, black. Okay. And you're going to press OK. All right. So the reason being, like we obviously want to look for this white in size 14, but I'm going to show you why that's the case. So I can see right here, right? It's the same white that it told me to select, right? Buy it for $55, which makes sense. 55 right here and selling for $84. Let's just see if it lines up. Size 14. See all buying options. Okay, we can see it's selling for $75.97. Some people might have dropped their price. So this is an example where, this item, even though it's the image, it's blue, right? The only reason it's not the white one is because if you look at the hyperlink right here in Dick's Sporting Goods, you'll see when I click on these different shoes, different sizes, the hyperlink does not change. So it's not a fault on Nepeto, right? Nepeto is still going into the background of this listing and scanning all these SKUs, scanning all the sizes. The only trouble is it can't link the exact link because it has to link the main product page. So, right? It's a problem with Dick's Sporting Goods, not Nepeto. So if this, if this is the case, don't report a mismatch. However, if let's say this wasn't the case and it is generally wrong, but you can report a mismatch by clicking this icon right here. And what's going to happen is if you find 50 mismatches, you're going to actually get a free subscription for Nepeto, right? They really care about their users. And if you are able to help fix the software, then you deserve a free subscription. So your next month will be free if you do find 50. And it's not like this ever runs out. You can take as long as you need to find 50 mismatches. And then let's say, for example, this product was out of stock. Like it was size 14 was out of stock and I couldn't like enter the zip code and it was still out of stock. Then you can just report it's out of stock. What's going to happen is Nepeto, they have a team of VAs that check all these reports and just determine whether it is accurate or not. So, right, keep that in mind. You can report that right there. Okay. Now, let's say there is an item that we like, right? Let's say, right off the bat, I'm just curious, like this product right here, 31% ROI, maybe I'm not ready to buy it yet, but maybe I just want to check it out later. What I would recommend you do is you click this favorites tab and favorite it. So once that loads, basically what a favorite does is you can build a list and come back later. I think this is really useful because Nepeto is constantly updating its database every day, basically 24/7. You'll see if I were to refresh this list, right? I have no filters on right now. If I were to refresh this list, I might lose this item right here. So let me just click refresh. And you'll see it's like, oh shit, like where did it go? So, right, that's how fast Nepeto is updating things. So what I would recommend you do is favorite stuff that you like, that you just want to take a second look at. Maybe you weren't ready to pull out your credit card. And then if you ever want to check out favorites, you can go to more and show only favorites. Okay. So if I were to close that out, you can see a whole list of my favorites. And then what I would recommend you do is you go more in depth on it, see whether it makes sense to buy, so on and so forth. And that is pretty much that. Now, I will mention the only time that a product will be removed from your favorites is for 3 reasons, right? Number one, let's say that product goes out of stock and our software catches it. Then it's going to remove it from our database for the time being until it is back in stock. Number 2 is if that product is no longer profitable. Let's say, maybe the price was on a sale or on clearance and it shot back up to normal price. And next thing you know, there's no longer profitable ROI. Next, that's going to tell us, okay, maybe Nepeto will remove it from the database. Okay. And then number 3, the third reason why you might lose something that you do favorite is if another user decides to hide it from others. So this button right here, this is a button that no other software has. It's probably one of the most powerful features that makes Nepeto work, is being able to hide it from others, right? Maybe you experienced a type of leads list or a leads service software like Tactical Arbitrage where they give you leads, where they're giving them to everyone. So by the time you start selling it on Amazon, 20 other sellers jump on it. And next thing you know, because the supply went way up, the demand starts to go down and your listing tanks, right? The reason Nepeto works, the reason we're able to talk about it so openly is because you have the ability to hide from others, right? This right here, 83% ROI, top 1.4%. If I'm curious about it and like, let's say things check out the Keepa and I want to hide it from others, I can hide it from others. Okay, I hope you can see the screen still. So basically, you can use a hide credit, and what's going to happen is it's going to go disappear from the Nepeto's database. It doesn't matter how tech savvy you are, how many loopholes you know with the software, whatever hackers that you guys are out there, right? You're not going to be able to find this product on the Nepeto anymore unless you are that user that hid it. So you can pay $2 a week to hide the credits, right? Hide it for as long as you think it makes sense for, and like, yes, you can hide it for as long as you want. You just got to pay the price. You got to pay $2 a week to hide it. It's worth it. Let's say you find something. Let's say you find the item that maybe it's selling and you can make $100 profit on it. Wait, hide it. Hide it for $4. Who cares? And if $4 is too much for you, you can buy credits in bulk, right? So you can buy hide credits in bulk. You can buy 100 credits right now for $80. Now that will change as supply and demand changes, but you can like that's what makes this worth it. If you find a lead that you find profitable, definitely make sure to hide it from others. That way, you know other people aren't going to jump on your listing and tank it, and you can sell it really confidently. So that right there's a few features in Nepeto that I would say make it totally different, totally worth it than any other software. This feature right here is one of those features. Okay. So that is all the buttons right here, the hide from others, etc. Highly recommend you check them out. So we went through this whole row right here. And before I just get into some basic filters, I am going to show you the data tab. Okay. So this stuff is only on the pro plan, right? You need the pro plan to access this stuff. But this data, basically what Nepeto's doing is it's becoming an all-in-one software, like a one-stop shop for you to not only find good leads, but be able to check how trustworthy are these leads? Like what's the data behind them so that I can make sure that I'm making money from them. So if I were to click on advanced data for a particular product, right? This one has 14%. Let's just do this one right here because it has 83%. It's caught my eye. Okay. I can see on the left the average 30-day price and the average 90-day price. Just make sure they line up with what it's telling me up here on the price that it's selling for. You can see the reviews, the ratings. This is cool. I can see whether it's IP complaints, like whether I have to worry about IPs with this brand. Maybe I never sold it before and I'm not sure. So, you know, you can detect IP issues, the weight, the sales rank drops. So from a quick glance, you can see, okay, past 30 days, it had about 25 sales rank drops, maybe 33 in the last 90 days. That's going to help me determine kind of just how fast it's moving. Maybe it's moving around like, I don't know, 20, 25 in the last 30 days sales it might have had. So you can keep that in mind when making a buying decision. And of course, I would double check it with the Keepa just to see the velocity and stuff. So Keepa's telling me 11 drops a month. But yeah, you got that right here. And this is the revenue that it does and the monthly sales. So in this example right here, since it's highlighted in green, the monthly sales, I know that Amazon released this data. It's not like Keepa came up with it. It's not like we estimated it by doing some math with people selling out, etc. Right? This is data that Amazon gave us, that it's selling over 50 times a month. So you can see in green, you know, just from a glance, Nepeto's going to tell you how much it's selling for and how often it is selling, so that you can kind of come over here, see how many sellers there are, and determine how deep do you want to go on this item, right? You have a Keepa graph right here. You can see the last 30 days. You can also adjust it to last 90 days and see the sales rank, how the sales rank is going up and down, etc. I like this. So if you notice in Keepa, if you ever do look at Keepa or Keepa chart, you see how it's like box, right? You see it just goes up, down, kind of funny. Looking sometimes hard to tell. I like the visual appeal of this. This is the same graph as down here, right? This stuff right here. It's just a little bit different visual appeal, and I can see the offer count went from 2 to 1. So about one person sold out in 2 days. Another person might have come on. So May 31st to June 1st, and one day another person sold out. So you can kind of see like the velocity of sellers selling out, see if people are selling out. And I can load this data right here and see things like the buy box winner percentage in the stock history. So I can see this person right here is getting the most buy box. And let's see. This is pretty advanced stuff, but you can actually see how their stock is selling, right? For example, this person had 10, you know, in about 10 days, they sold 1. So maybe this isn't a product that I want to buy. On May 16th, it seems like they bought 7 more of this item. Yeah, so they sold about, you can just, if you are good at looking at the stock history, I think this is a really good way to just determine how fast these sellers are selling. You can choose different ASINs, these are different seller IDs. So I can see, how their stock is moving and really help me with my buying decision. Okay, so that is this middle column right here. Now I'm gonna let's do a Nike listing because you can see on the right? Not only can I see the stock count, I can see the current offers, right? The current sellers. Remember earlier we saw from a quick glance, there's 4 other resellers. All of them are doing FBM, right? I can see those 4 other sellers right here. I can see their seller IDs, their ratings, and their stock count. So this is going to help you a ton with making your buying decision. All from Nepeto. It does it all in one. So this person has 4,000 ratings, right? This person has 4,000 ratings, and maybe I'm just curious. Okay, they have 4,000 ratings. It seems like they're selling some Nike products because this product right here is Nike. I wonder if they're selling anything else that I'm interested in, that I'm selling. Maybe I'm in the clothing category. So what you can do is click on here and click on the storefront scanner. So I'm not going to scan their store right now because I do want to come back to this, but you're going to see I can take this person's seller ID, scan their store, see all the Amazon ASINs that they have, and then Nepeto's going to check and see if it can find it in its database. I'll just do a quick search just to show you a brief overview, right? You got the Amazon ASINs on the left, and it found in its database where to buy it on the right, right? So, not all of these I would buy because you do want to check the ROIs right here on the right. But you can see right here, okay, this one, 38% from Shop WSS. Like, you can just really do quick, like I'm telling you, you can go down the rabbit holes with this thing. I'm just going to show you this, for example. So it's 13. Right? 150 it's selling for. You can buy it for 100. And I know that you can coupon down with Shop WSS. So, keep in mind that, but pretty cool stuff right there. Okay. So that is the show data tab. Now, let me go back to just online arbitrage. Cool. I'm gonna show you another example of the storefront stalking scanner or the storefront scanner as well. That's going to be at the end. I just wanted to go through a couple more things that I totally missed earlier. So right here, this is important, right? So like, for example, there's the save money feature. Actually, let me see. Never mind. Save money feature right here. So if you ever, this is an example. Let's say you find something like this shoe right here, 31% ROI. Now, for me, that's not good enough to buy a shoe. I need to sell stuff that's 35% ROI, maybe even 40% ROI. But this is going to give you a huge edge, right? To bump up your margins, to bump up your profit margins, you can click on the Save Money tab right here. Now, this is key because when you are doing online arbitrage, you need every advantage that you have to get your products for less than your competition. And then basically, right, other people might pass up on this product. They might see 31% ROI because they don't know that you can use discounted gift cards to bump up your margins. So a lot of people are going to pass on something like this. I'm going to show you. We actually integrate with discounted gift cards, right? You can see we have CardWiki right here. These are discounted gift cards that you can buy. So Dick's Sporting Goods, right? This is from Dick's Sporting Goods. Let's just, right? You can see you can buy gift cards with balances on them, and you can save money. So these are discounted gift cards. We also integrate with Luz, which is a discounted gift card service, right? We have our Nepeto page. So that's really cool. And then additionally, Arbitrage card, right? Highly recommend you check these guys out because this is going to help you so much to beat your competition, right? If you know how to use discounted gift cards to your advantage, you can make products that may not seem profitable, that may not meet most people's buying criteria, and you make it profitable. So I'm just going to click, right, Dick's Sporting Goods again. I can get a 4.5% discount, right? Even though it's only 4.5%, don't count it out. A lot of people may not buy products because it has sales tax on them. So use every advantage that you can to help you out. This is really cool right here. So discounted gift cards will help you boost your margins and find more profitable items. And then additionally, you have Rakuten and Be Frugal. These are cash back websites. So I wouldn't necessarily use them in your margins. Think of them like a bonus, right? Sometimes Rakuten does run a nice 10% or an 8% cash back, which is just a nice bonus. It's a good thing to know in the background that if you make this purchase, I bought a couple of these, that I could be getting extra cash back, right? So it's a cool thing to know. So that's the Save Money tab. Next, the variations. So I totally missed this earlier, but when you're selling shoes, right, if maybe these are profitable, now you want to see, okay, is there other variations that are also profitable, right? Variations when it comes to selling clothing, right? Think about all the different sizes, all the different colors, right? That is included in the variations. Nepeto can see if there is other variations that are profitable. So you can see right here, size 8, color black, found. Size 9, white, black, wolf, gray, right? Size 9.5, white, black, wolf, gray. You can start to see, oh crap, one lead just turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 leads. 9 leads came into us. If I start to see that this wolf gray, whatever it's called, right? White, black, sale, wolf, gray. You see, there's a lot of the wolf gray. I'm going to click on them and just dive deep into the variations tab. Now I can start to really just see this Keepa. Maybe I dive into it more. Maybe I go to variations. Right now, you start to find just so many leads just from one variation that Nepeto gave you. You can check out 8 more leads. I'm just going to give you a really cool tip. So you can see it's like white, black, wolf, gray. If you ever go to Keepa and you change the title right here and you paste it, let's just do white, black. Okay, so this is the white, black, wolf, gray. Right now, I can see all the variations for this specific thing, and I can see 130, 130. You know, maybe sell it for 130. Click on the right listing. That's white, black, gym red. White, black, red. All right, white, wolf, gray, black. So, you know, let's just double check. Where were we? Amazon. I was checking this color out, but I think I needed to do the white, wolf, gray, black. So take back what I said about, I think I typed in the wrong thing. Oh, there we go. There we go. So you see how I made a list now, right? So this gave me the Amazon listing right here. And what I did was I just typed in title, white, wolf, gray. That's what I should have done. Now I have a list of other variations, right? 139, 145, the buy box is at. I can see just like, you know, this product, I'm not sure how much we can buy it for. $119 going for 145, right? So maybe it's just like another rabbit hole, the variations tab, right? Obviously, you want to make sure your numbers add up. I know it's 38% ROI for right there, but this is next level, that variations tab. Okay, so that is everything with the show data and these rows. Cool. So last thing or next thing I'm going to show you is these buttons up here, the filters, etc. So if you ever want to clear out your search, okay, maybe you want to clear out everything, start fresh. This is the clear all button. You can press this, it's going to refresh the page, and wipe out all your settings. Okay, so now you got a brand new page, brand new list made for you. Now, let's say I did have just some filters. You know, these don't mean anything in particular. I'm just setting them, for example. Okay, let's say I had some filters and I wanted to refresh the page, but I did not want to clear out these filters, right? The difference between this one, this is the clear all button. This is the refresh page, but keep my filters button. I can click on the search icon. You'll see it'll refresh, make me a new list, but I'll still have the same parameters in here, right? So that's pretty important to note. You can search Nike stuff. You can search by a particular ASIN. You can search a particular brand that you want to search in the search icon. If you ever do want to filter things down further, right? So now I can see a whole list of Nike stuff that meets certain filters. Let's say I just wanted to clear this out, keep these guys, right? I would search, clear out the name, and I still have these parameters. Cool. So you can check here, right? We have categories. You can select specific categories that you want to sell. Now, you know, I mainly sell clothing and shoes and jewelry. But whether you sell toys, you can click on that. You can sell grocery, check that out in depth, right? Nepeto is a really great way. Let's say you are focused on one certain niche, one certain category, but you want to start to expand your knowledge, expand how deep you can go with Nepeto. Maybe you want to start getting into all these other categories. This is a great way to get you introduced to other categories. You can just click on these right here. Now, I like to personally leave it open. I'm going to just show you my favorite filters lately that I like to do. I like to do a nice open, broad search just to see whatever comes my way, comes my way. And I can see the ROI is really quick, which is nice. So, you know, categories open. Typically what I'll do is I'll just set certain parameters. I always am checking, filter out if Amazon is one of the sellers. Price doesn't have to necessarily matter. ROI, I keep down to 30% because even though, you know, I won't sell anything unless I can get 35% ROI, since I told you about the gift card strategy right here, right? Using discounted gift cards, right? I can bump it up myself. I know I can bump it up to 35% ROI. So why cut all that possible products out that are doing 30% normally, right? Because everyone else is going to see that as 30% normally, but maybe I know how to bump my margins up. Okay. And then BSR, top BSR, you can do even fractions of a number, right? If I want to find stuff that's in the top 0.7%, 0.3% BSR, 0.5%, I can do that. Like it doesn't have to be a whole number. So now I kind of filtered it. Okay, I got some fast movers, some good ROIs, and Amazon's not one of the sellers. Let's say you are a beginner and you don't necessarily trust listings yet that don't have a buy box, right? As you get more experience, you'll realize that even though it doesn't have a buy box, doesn't mean it won't sell. You can filter out stuff. It must have a buy box. Now, everything I click on will have a particular buy box. Or maybe you're looking for stuff that doesn't have a buy box that will scare newer sellers away. I can click on stuff that won't have a buy box. Okay. I can click on here, no private label. And the show data tab will let you, that's a pro feature. It'll let you show the data. Okay. So let me refresh right there. Lastly, AZ offers. So this is something that I was showing you guys earlier. You can get really fancy with how you want to filter your list, right? Maybe you want stuff that is more FBM friendly. Maybe you want stuff where you don't have to send it to FBA. So what you can do is set parameters like, okay, maybe I want the max amount of FBA sellers to be 3 and the minimum amount of FBM sellers to be 4. So now I found stuff where it's more FBM friendly. So, you know, totally up to you. If this is something, maybe it's not your preference, that's fine. But I want to just let you know, right? Continue to play around with the filters. You can get super advanced with this stuff. Even though it's super simple, we made it very user friendly. You can build advanced lists with the filters. And that is definitely going to help you out. Let me just set this both back to 0. Search. Cool. So that is everything right there. Now, I'm going to dive into a pro feature that I think is super important. Let me go into the advanced settings to show you all these guys. So one filter that I always love, I like to filter by profit. This is a pro feature. This is what makes the pro version so worth it. I can filter, stuff that's only $3 or more profit, right? That's kind of a personal criteria that I've learned, that I want to sell stuff that I'm making at least $3 on. So I have all these stuff right here where I can filter by profit. You can do by the most amount of profit, right? I'm not going to obviously buy and sell refrigerators. This is pretty cool though. I can buy a Canon G7X for $750 at Target. That's crazy. And then let's see how much it's selling for on Amazon. See all buying options. Wow. Damn. I just, sorry, this was like a side note, but I just saw the Canon G7X's prices shot up. It was a TikTok shop. This is like a squirrel moment, but 73 drops a month. Wow. If you got a Canon G7X, damn, that's a very interesting flip. $345 profit. See, that's crazy right there, right? This item right here, I could buy one of these from Target, sell it on Amazon. Let's just say I do a test order of one, right? I can make $345 profit. That's insane. Because that's a small item too. Like a lot of this stuff is bigger items, right? So, there's money out there. This software will make you your money back, right? That's crazy. Anyways, all right. So profit, I can sort by that. I can also sort by found time. This is super essential as well, right? If you sort by found time, what you can see right here is Nepeto is constantly updating everything, right? You can see the found time, 10:38 a.m., right? If you look in the top right corner of my map, right now it's 10:38 a.m. It's finding things to the second. That's why I just left the broad search, 10:38:12, 10:38:03, right? Things down to the second. You can see these items. So why is that important, right? When you are on the pro plan, you can see, this just scanned. It just came out. I'm probably one of the first people to see this item listed. Now I can hide it from others before anyone else sees it, before anyone else gets this listed. That's what makes Nepeto work, right? Our software is so powerful that it's scanning every single day, to the second. It's scanning every second, 24/7, right? These aren't VAs going out there and finding products for you. This is AI robots going out there finding the products for you, right? I can be the first person to find this stuff and hide it from others. That is insane. So that's why I'm telling you the pro plan makes the difference, right? I'm not trying to sell you guys on it. I'm just trying to show you that the pro plan is worth the money. I'll show you the pricing at the end. I'm going to show you one last feature that I promise I wanted to get in depth on, right? The storefront scanner. So you can copy, if you ever make like a list of people's seller IDs, you can copy their seller IDs right here and paste it and then scan their entire storefront. So, I personally have a list of Amazon storefronts that I like. I'm not going to paste them in right now because they are my buddies and I just know that they're doing really big numbers. So maybe I'm going to stalk their storefronts, see what they're selling, see if Nepeto can find me where they're selling, where they're buying it from. But yeah, it's really, really cool stuff. So I'm going to dive into the storefront scanner. I'm going to just do it another way. So you have the option of just maybe you create a list of seller IDs, or you can do it the reverse sourcing way. Let me just search a Nike ROI like 35 and then top 0.5. I'm just going to do a quick Nike search. Find some sellers selling Nike as well. Okay, so these are Nikes, right? You got the Court Visions. Okay, so these guys, right, with the thousands of ratings, I like to typically look at people, maybe not with too much ratings because they might be wholesale, but stuff like people with like 700 ratings, right? Under 1,000, they're not rich, but maybe they're doing online arbitrage just like me. Let me search their storefront because I know that they were selling a Nike listing, so maybe they're selling other Nike stuff. Let's go into their storefront and break down the storefront scanner for you. Okay, so you can see you have a table view of what they're selling. This guy mainly sells New Balance shoes, Adidas, 5% Nike, right? If I ever do like a pie chart, I can see though he's doing mainly 99% clothing and shoes. And you can see right here a nice little pie chart of what he's selling. So mainly New Balance, Adidas, barely any Nike, so not as much as I would think. But I can see you. All right. I never sold Skechers before, but 54% ROI looks good to me. So let's just check out, right? Buy it for 44, sell it for 93. All right. So 44 right here is the Skechers sale. Sell it for 93. What size was it? Size 8X wide. So 8 wide. All right, let's see all buying options. Boom, 93. All right, it's lethal. Let's check the Keepa, see how fast it's moving. Okay, so 27 drops a month, not as much, but you can definitely maybe buy like one or two to see how they sell to test it out. Right. So, I can just continue scanning stuff that this person's selling because you got to realize if they're selling it, there's a reason it's profitable, right? They're making money. They're not going to sell it just to sell it and have fun. They're selling it to make money. So I'm selling a lot of variations of the Skechers. Very interesting. Nike cleats, 43%, right? Let's just see right here. What can we buy for 75, sell it for 137, size 8. So size 8 in stock, right? Buy for 75, sell it for 128. What was it saying? 137. So it seems like some people like maybe undercut a little bit. But you can see like even this guy, like right now, at the time of this recording, it's June 3rd. Even though this guy's less, his delivery times are way out there. So people are gonna be able to like people want it faster, you know what I mean? So this guy's selling on Sunday, June 9th, right? 6 days. Dude, that's still a little far out there. But he's gonna get it way faster, right? People are gonna buy from him, even though they're paying $10 more, because they can get it faster than this guy who's selling June 12th to June 18th. Right? All these sellers selling so far out. So you can smoke these guys. Right? So you can sell it for 140, right? But back to the main point, right? You can go down these rabbit holes of scanning people's storefronts. And then if I want to scan more people's storefronts, maybe I like this listing, right? Let's see other people, right? 747 ratings, storefront scanner, scan it, scan their seller ID, quick pie chart view, mainly sells clothing, New Balance, Adidas, some Nike. I swear to God, is this the same guy? I totally just scanned the same guy's store. That's my bad. So I have to wait 100 seconds, but you get the point, right? You can go down crazy rabbit holes with this stuff, right? Shop WSS 45 to flip it to 98. Like buy it right here, 45, flip it to 98. What size? Size 10.5. Is it 10.5 men's? Yeah. So 45, flip it to 98, right? Boom. This is I didn't even mean to show you all these profitable items. It's so fast, right? You can really just start diving deep into it. Check Keepa real quick. How fast is it selling? Maybe you have other softwares, right? 31 drops a month, looking like good velocity down below, right? It is so interesting how deep you can go just using Nepeto, finding these rabbit holes, right? We probably just from this video, I didn't even mean to do this, but we probably found maybe like $1,000 with these storefronts that we're just stalking, right? And that Canon G7X was lethal. I didn't even know that. I'm gonna have to buy one today. Cool. So that is the storefront scanner. That basically wraps up Nepeto. I'm going to show you the pricing at the end, just so that you are aware. Okay. So if you were to do monthly, get the pro plan. It's worth it. I'm telling you, when I started with the starter, we're actually, I think, discontinuing the starter because a lot of people are, buying it because it's pretty cheap for the starter, but you're not going to get the features that are going to make you a significant amount of money. Like, you can very well pay for the pro plan, right? It's $98. I have a special discount code that I'm going to link below in this video that you can actually sign up under and get I think it's 20% off right now, but I'm gonna see if I can get that discount code up for you guys. But yeah, like, click on it, like, check it out, get the pro plan. You're gonna have a 7-day free trial and see if you can find maybe $100 while you're still in that free trial, right? Nepeto, when you start to really play around with this software and get good at it, it's gonna pay for itself. So in the pro plan, you get all the retailers that we talked about, all the distributors. You get storefront scanner. You can scan 15 storefronts a day. This alone, if you scan 15 storefronts a day of people with high ratings, you're gonna find profitable products, right? It's almost impossible unless you're somehow scanning the wrong storefronts. It's almost impossible not to find profitable items, right? 15 scans a day. And if this ever runs out, like, let's say you do 15, you can always re-up it. You just got to pay like $10. I didn't talk about the export deals to CSV. If you have like a VA or something, you can, like, let's say, for example, you want to build a favorites list, right? Maybe you have a VA doing stuff you like. You want to build a favorites list, and then you want them to export it, right? I can create CSV files. I'm just going to share the CSV file, right? So I just created a CSV file right here. Boom, Excel. All right, link to buy, link to buy, link to sell, right? The name, the sales rank, bunch of information, the ROI, right? All this crazy stuff, right? Your VAs can make this for you. All right, let me stop share right there. And go back to the pricing, right? You can do a ton with this software. Even this in-depth breakdown, I didn't cover it all. Let's go back to pricing. So yeah, get the pro plan. I'm telling you, when I got started on the pro plan, it changed everything for me. Now all I do is I go on Nepeto, I go down these rabbit holes, I get really creative with it, keep a broad search, sometimes sort by profit, sometimes sort by found time, and just have fun with it, right? The profit and sort by found time make the software worth it. Okay. Also, Nepeto, you get the pro data in the pro plan. So being able to see all those other storefronts, all the other sellers selling, seeing their stock count and all that, right? This Nepeto is becoming a one-stop shop so that you can use Nepeto, you can basically master this software, and you're going to win at Amazon, right? It's all right there for you. It's all right there. They're constantly improving, right? Keep in mind, this company is 6 months old and they have all this stuff, right? The Amazon to Walmart stuff. I don't sell much on Walmart yet, but just being able to know that I can buy stuff quickly from Amazon and sell on Walmart, the Walmart space is like the Wild West right now. If you get ahead of the curve on this, this is going to be the next big trend. So definitely consider that. So yeah, get the pro plan. I would highly recommend it. It changed everything for me. And now I'm like absolutely convinced that Nepeto is one of the best online arbitrage sourcing softwares on there. Cool. So I want to just stop sharing my screen. I hope you guys really enjoyed that in-depth breakdown on Nepeto. I really wanted to go in depth so that you can see exactly all the features that it has for you and realize, wow, this is way more powerful than I thought it was. I thought it was just a brief list where I get a link to buy, get a link to sell, and go from there. Right? No, Nepeto is becoming a disruptor in the Amazon space in terms of software. And check it out. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So thank you guys so much for staying with me. I know this was a long video. I'm going to ideally create timestamps for you guys to skip around and just be able to find certain topics very quickly and, get started. This is going to be the easiest side hustle to do because you don't need to start your brand. You're using leverage. You're selling brands that people are already buying on Amazon, and you're finding out how you can buy it less. It's all right there for you at your fingertips. So Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. Go be great today. Go win. Go source some profitable items. Get signed up with Nepeto, and finally start making an income. Make this extra side hustle online, selling products on Amazon. This is just a start to your Amazon journey, and I'm super excited to be here with you. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great one.